It's funny how different generations of gamers have completely different associations with the name Wolfenstein. Most will probably think of the modern series by Machine Games. Some, though likely fewer, might recall the 2009 entry. Millennials will shed a nostalgic tear remembering the cult classic Return to Castle Wolfenstein from 2001. And gaming veterans or video game history geeks will undoubtedly point to the grandfather of 3D shooters, Wolfenstein 3D. But did you know that back in 1981, long before ID Software acquired the Wolfenstein name, a small company called Muse Software released the very first game in the series, Castle Wolfenstein. Originally released for the Apple II, it was later ported to MS-DOS in 1984. Until recently I had no idea this game even existed. So let's take a look at this title that inspired Romero and Carmack to choose this setting for their first 3D shooter. According to the game's manual, the story takes place during World War II. You play as a nameless soldier, presumably a spy, captured by the Nazis and imprisoned in the dungeon of Castle Wolfenstein for interrogation and torture. However, your dying cellmate, just before passing, hands you a gun and 10 bullets. Your mission: find the war plans and escape from Castle Wolfenstein alive. As you can see, the core story and concept were already established way back in 1981, a lone soldier trying to escape a Nazi-infested fortress. Gameplay-wise, however, this wasn't a shooter. It was a top-down adventure game with procedurally generated room layouts, making every playthrough unique. Levels are filled with Nazi guards and SS stormtroopers. You can tell the latter apart by their body armor. Here I want to talk about the game's stealth system, which is surprisingly complex for its time. Enemies have movement patterns and line of sight, so it's possible to complete the game using stealth only, though that's definitely the hardest way to go. You can also disguise yourself by putting on an SS uniform. Regular guards will ignore you as long as you're not openly carrying a gun or going on a shooting spree. Stormtroopers, however, will still recognize you and try to apprehend you if they catch the sight of you. The issue is that since they wear body armor, you can't kill stormtroopers with your pistol, only with a grenade. But grenades are rare and you can't carry more than 3. Sure, you can try to run from them, but they'll pursue you even across screens, so it's not a great strategy.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Luckily, there's another mechanic that helps. You can hold your pistol up to an enemy and force them to surrender, just like in Metal Gear Solid. And I think it's a nice touch that this works even if you're out of ammo. As long as you get close enough and draw your weapon, the enemy will immediately throw their hands up. You can then loot them for ammo, door keys and even body armor in the case of stormtroopers, which makes them vulnerable to your pistol. If stealth isn't your thing, you can always go loud and shoot every Nazi inside. This has its perks. Looting bodies often yields keys or ammo, which helps you access locked areas. But keys aren't strictly necessary. You can shoot or blow up doors or even lure a guard to open one with a gunshot. That said, a word of caution: when I run around with my gun drawn, I notice SS troopers spawning nearby more frequently, so I suggest using your weapon only when necessary. As you explore the castle maze, you'll come across plenty of chests. One of them contains the coveted war plans, but they're not required to finish the game. Honestly, I'm not even sure if I found them during my run. You see, opening chests takes a surprisingly long time, and the time it takes seems entirely random. I'd find chests that opened in 20 seconds and contained incredibly valuable loot, like uniforms or armor, and others that took over 3 minutes just to reveal a couple of bullets or bottle of schnapps. Even though I was playing with increased CPU cycles, which sped up not only the game but the lockpicking too, I still ended up leaving my desk to get a coffee while my character struggled to crack a chest. You can speed this up with gunfire or grenades, but that comes with the risk of attracting enemies or blowing yourself up, especially if the chest contains explosives. And actually, it's kind of amusing. Besides useful stuff like ammo and grenades, chests can also contain food and alcohol. I'm pretty sure this inspired ID Software when they were designing Wolfenstein 3D, though here these items don't affect gameplay. Your character will just comment on them with various lines. That's how I found out that he appreciates schnapps and sausages, but really doesn't care for sauerkraut.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
To be honest, I'm not used to playing games this old, and I didn't expect Castle Wolfenstein to hook me up the way it did. I ended up spending the whole evening exploring the castle's green labyrinth and sketching out level maps in my notebook. I don't know, man, there's something about the minimalism of those era games. The lack of visuals fires up your imagination and lets you sink deeper into the game's world. As dawn approached, I finally found the exit. I walked into a corridor expecting more rooms, and instead the screen went dark and the words "You escaped" appeared. Then a small illustration of the hero running from the castle. I felt this warm, satisfying kind of exhaustion. I did it. I escaped from Castle Wolfenstein. I finished a game that came out over 40 years ago. Then I shut down my PC, climbed into bed, and fell asleep with a smile on my face. The smile of someone who had a great evening with a great game. This was Radio Nick. Thanks for joining me. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.